Okay, so what shall I talk about today? Oh, yeah, I remember now. Well, not I remember that I memorized anything to say. I remember now because I was thinking about it, and said, I'm sure it'll come out of me when I start recording, right? Um, so one of the things that I found being homeless, right, and being in this kind of homeless slash poor slash, you know, yeah, community, and is that there's one of the oldest professions, you know, what you consider, would say, it's the oldest profession, but it's not really the oldest profession. It's actually the first thing they use money for. Maybe, I guess. One of the things that was high on the priority to use money, because men created money, women didn't create money, men created money. So the concept of money, represents power, which represents what you consider one of the oldest profession is, right? And it's power on both sides, right? Power of, like, yeah, having a woman that you can do anything you want to, and then use money for it. And it was like, fuck, I'm taking your money and fucking try to rip you off and whatever I can do, you know, you know. It's all about the money. So I've been out here a few years, and I've watching a lot of women in the poverty class. Some, not a lot, I'm just saying some, and especially when we come into the the street aspect of it, is there's a lot of prostitution, right? So this profession is, and I've actually met quite a bit, quite a bit of a selection of you know, I don't want to say, I don't, because the word itself is kind of demeaning itself as well. So I met a lot of the oldest profession. And I can't really pay for sex, because if I pay for sex, it doesn't really, like, feel anything. I don't feel anything. So I've never really paid for sex. I don't do that. I date women, and then you make love, whatever. That's about it. But I've known, like I said, I've known quite a few being in this homeless slash poverty, lower poverty level, you know. And it's unfortunate because the reason you find it being, um, there's a lot of them, a lot of women, I guess, and men, I guess too. I don't know about the men's side of it much, but I do see, especially I lived in Fort Lauderdale. I lived in let's see, Brooklyn. I mean, you do see, like, men versions of them. Is, I guess, for like for homosexuals. I mean, whatever. Again, it's not. I'm not judging anybody for doing what they do. It's sad that they have to do it for money. Because the reason that they're doing it is because they don't have money and they want money. They need money, and they want to do something. They want to do plant medicine. It's too expensive, so then they have to be able to manage doing what they're doing. And like I said, it's a choice you make if you decide to do that. There's always going to be clientele out there, spending money. I would imagine. I've heard from a lot of women that a lot of men just kind of, like, want their company and don't really do anything. Maybe a little bit, but don't do anything really, like, And that's their best clients. So you're in a corner, you're more of an escort than full blown you know all this profession. And it's kind of ironic that it's one of those things that people choose to do because of money. I mean, I'm assuming that some like it and just want to do it, and they like having multiple sex partners, and like enjoy that. But the majority of that I've talked to, have known out here, is they're doing it for money more than anything else. And if they had something else to provide the money, they probably wouldn't be doing it. So it's one of those things that you really, like, you think about it and you say, if there was no money, and we just shared everything equally, and everybody was equal, people would just be having sex just because they're having sex, not because they needed to make money for the night. And it's kind of ironic because there's a book by Miles Davis I read. Miles, I remember, was Miles Ahead. It's one of the few ones that it's an actual autobiography, and it's one of the few ones that he had published. Might have been even before he died. Miles Davis is a trumpet player, jazz trumpet player. Very, very. He's like, to musicians that know, he's like the god of all music, because he just went from one genre to another genre and just bounced back and forth and never played old stuff. Just always played new stuff. Always played new and hearing new stuff and then playing new stuff and being ahead of the game all the time. You know what I mean? Miles ahead. Right? Miles Davis went through a 5-year hiatus, and now he never did heroin. Right? Like other musicians around that time, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane. I don't know if Dizzy did, but there was Max Roach. I'm not really sure about Max Roach, but there's a lot of them that were doing heroin, and it helped them play the music and helped them But Miles never was really into it. He actually did the plant medicine. He did what I consider plant medicine, is the cocoa plant. He did do that, but he never did dope. And he went on this 5-year hiatus where he just, I think he just kind of gave up on everything. Walked away, and literally, you could go to Harlem and be walking down the street in Harlem, and there's Miles Davis with his beat up clothes and his nose running, and all that, trying to, if you need to cop some dope, or if you need a girl, because he ended up being a pimp, at that point too. All these things that you think Miles Davis, the trumpet player, really? But then, 5-year hiatus, and actually did get hooked on heroin in that period, and he went through withdrawals, and he had to go through a pretty pretty difficult drying up period, what it's called, when you do it for a while, and more go through withdrawals and stuff, and detox. And but then right after that, I think that was like between 72 and 77. It was 5 years. But then he came out with a series of albums that were just incredible, with these amazing musicians, Mike Stern, John Scofield, Marcus Miller on bass, all these great musicians that I was playing with, and it was all a new sound, It's the collection of Miles Davis. We happened to 72, which is the Bitches Brew type music, was the last thing he did, and then all of a sudden he disappeared for 5 years. And then he came out of it. And I watched that movie, and in the movie about Miles Davis, and they did not show that, and that got me really mad about that. They did not show that it reflected at all. Because if he was able to put that in a book and state the truth of what he did those 5 years, then I respect him. But probably the people who made the movie go, no, we don't want to put that in the movie because we don't want to discredit him. But he didn't feel anything about being discredited. He just did what he wanted to do, and he just did what he had to do, and he did it. Whether it's wrong or right, matter of opinion. He came back musically, tearing up everything. 78, I think 77, 78 is when he released that album with Marcus Miller, and it was just incredible. Then a series of albums, Star People was one of them. I remember the other albums, but they were all like these series of albums that were all like funky and all different type of sound, combining rock and jazz and raunchy sound, all this different stuff that he really wasn't doing as much before he went down like that. He went to that 5-year hiatus. And some people think, well, oh, you see, that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's copying Miles Davis. No, this just came to mind now that I'm kind of in the same kind of, not because I wouldn't be doing half the things that he would, because he grew up in that environment. I didn't. Plus, it doesn't. But being here and seeing it around me, and being in the middle of it, and talking to people about it, that's brought some understanding to me. A level of understanding of what it is to be poor. I don't think not too many people have done this and actually said to themselves, well, money is the main cause of all these problems. I do. I have. But regardless, that's what you face. And him doing that and knowing that and being that, I'm sure, brought him back and made him a better person than he was before he went out there and did that. As far as I know, he didn't really do anything like that, and he also frowned at people doing dope, in his bands and anything that he had. But at the same time, he wasn't a hypocrite because he didn't throw them out or anything. And he did do other things, just not that seemed to destroy people. Right? Yet he went full blown into it, saying like, well, I guess, kind of what I got out of the book. I guess this is why you do it. And he was lost, but I mean, I don't even know if he had family at that point that were looking for him. I don't know if they turned it back. I don't remember that part of the book really, to what extent. But he came back. Did some amazing music. Man with the Horn. That's the Miles Davis, Man with the Horn. That's the one that I think that's the one, a live one with Mike Stern and Marcus Miller, and I think, was it Wayne Shorter on sax? Maybe Wayne Shorter on sax, or somebody else on sax. I don't know. Oh no, it's this other white guy. But whatever. That shows you that you can't stop people from doing what they have to do. See, somebody would have pulled them out of this. And Miles, get going to rehab a year into it. You crazy? You're pimping women out here. You fucking crazy? Get out of here and go back into your and with rehab. And then he came back, and none of those albums would have been made. See, sometimes you try to stop people because of your own insecurities and your own feelings about what's being done, but not realizing that person might have to go through what they're going through for something else that you're blocking by trying to stop it. You see? He could have died. He could have OD'd any period within 5 years. He didn't. If he did, he would have said to himself, you know what? It's my time. I'm sure a lot of people would have missed him. But either nobody stopped him because they respected him, or he didn't let anybody stop him. And he just did what he at that point thought he needed to do. And he was promoting prostitution. It's the old profession. You guys laugh about it as being the oldest profession. Yet it is not older than money. Get it? Money is the oldest thing, because once money came into play, everything that you consider not right is caused and distributed by money throughout this world. So, I had some bad stories about, I heard some stories about women getting ripped off. 5 minutes, took advantage of, and the vice versa too. That women that will take advantage of a guy that's too nice. when he's not looking, he'll go through everything and walk out of the place, the hotel, without doing anything. Either or, it's about money. And that's why I'm harping on it so much, and that's why I keep on. But people say, "Cuz, stop, go back to working. We all need money. We all need this. We all need that. Stop doing this." No, I won't stop doing it because I don't got nothing else I really want to focus on, sir. Except for the fact that money is killing you. Money is the cause of every problem. Money, the stress you have to endure in your life is caused by money. Everything that is problematic with this civilization is caused by money and a monetary system that is enslaving all of the civilization. So, you know, even the fact that relationships now are focused on money. If you don't have enough money, sorry, you can't. I don't want no scrub. Sorry. You're not working. You're not doing this. You're not making enough money for me. You don't have that. Well, you don't have a car. We don't even have an apartment. You live in a tent, really? Yeah, I live in a tent. So my chances of dating are pretty much slim. Then I don't have a car or a car or an apartment or anywhere to live. So that's what it is. But yeah, even the fact of relationship breakups, usually because of money. I mean, yeah, there's other reasons, going apart and something, but what tears people apart, just in general, is money. Most of the fights that I've gotten into were about money. Most of the people that try to hurt me about to rob me, somehow, for money. There you go. That's your oldest profession. Just remember, money is older than that profession, because before money existed, there would be no reason, right, to do that for money. Maybe you do it for something else. Maybe you do it for food because you're starving people. I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe you're going around raping people. Whatever it is. The people that came in and destroyed towns and took over the British Empire and the Spanish Empire and the Italian Empire, or the empires that existed, went in and fucking took over people, took over their land, killed the warriors, raped the women, and boom. But that's then back then, right? That's not where we are now, right? Yeah, but this little thing in my, I had this thing about the slave master and the slave thing, and if you don't want to hear this, but it's like this like slaves were free, they were freed, but then they still had to pay for food, shelter, clothing, everything, So the slave master, it's like, I'm gonna let you go free. You're gonna work for me now and give me money, but then I'm gonna take all that money back. And when I used to come in and rape your daughters, well, now we can't do it anymore, but now I just pay them. Get it? I just make sure that they stay at a level that they have to be prostitutes, and then I'll pay them instead of just going in and raping them like I used to as a slave master. Okay, now you can take your fingers out of your ears. Get it? Yeah, money is the root of all. Slave masters were slave masters because of money, right? Why they do it? Because they wanted to save money on labor, right? Slave masters, right? So they bought slaves and they used them for labor because of money. Oh, they did that before money. All right, but even before money, there was something that was considered money. Because if not, then yes, maybe there was tribes that didn't communicate, but we're all past that, right? We can cannot communicate with the internet, everything, and we can just talk through videos. We can just talk and make people understand what they're doing is wrong. If they're not listening, then there's the problem. But that problem is usually related to money, territory that they think belongs to them, until Mother Earth goes and has an earthquake and just wipes them off, or it's a tsunami, whatever it is, just wipe them off. Can't do the whole planet at once, but it's going to speed up though. It's going to speed up. Oldest profession, remember. Take the oldest profession, and just before that, there was money that was introduced, and that's why you have that oldest profession. Have a good day.